Hi IELTS aspirants. I am presenting this keeping in view the beginners of IELTS, those who are going to attempt the IELTS exam for the first time. And IELTS is really an English for global opportunities. In this presentation, basically, my agenda is to let you know about what is IELTS and who accepts IELTS, what are the components of IELTS test, and the versions, the score pattern, and also the test pattern. IELTS is the International English Language Testing System, the world's proven English language test. It's accepted as evidence of English language proficiency. Once you have IELTS certification, it's a proof that you are proficient in English. Not just for going abroad for academic purpose or not only for the acquiring permanent residency in English countries like Canada, or Australia or New Zealand, but also it is a proof of your English proficiency which you can claim for joining in any MNC company and which is an asset you can add in your resume. IELTS jointly owned by the international boards like British Council, IDP Australia and Cambridge English Language Assessment. You can take your test through any of these boards, and here I would like to caution you that do not bother about the rumors saying IDP Australia is easier than Cambridge or Cambridge is easier or British Council is easier. No, the standard of the test may differ time to time, and it depends on how the applicant takes the examination. So as per the convenience of the dates and your availability, you can go for any of these boards. This is accepted by more than 9,000 organizations over 145 countries, and schools, colleges, universities, training colleges of international reputation, all government departments and agencies, most of the English countries, and professional and industries bodies as well. It's also accepted by multinational companies and employers. And don't be in an illusion that IELTS is a test only for academics or for acquiring PR. It can be also a very good asset to be added in your resume if you like. And the companies who go for the English test may exempt you from their own test if you have an IELTS certification. Let's look into the components of IELTS test. These are the four basic skills common for any communications, whatever may be the language. We have listening, speaking, reading, writing. Of course, here it is English. How do you listen, speak, read, or write? And your skills in all these aspects are tested in IELTS. When you look at this graph, you understand that there are two versions. One is academic and general. You can understand that the test pattern is same in listening and speaking modules for both academic and general, but when it comes to reading and writing, it varies. Of course, even reading also is almost the same, but the standard of the paragraphs that are given varies. In fact, in the academic IELTS, the reading passages are more standard than that given in the general writing test. Let us look into the test patterns of each module at a later point of time in the next following slides. But first, let us see what is the score. As any other academic or university examinations, there is no failure. Of course, failure in the literal terms, we understand that whatever that we aim for, if you don't get that, you can understand as failure. But there is no term mentioned as failure in the scorecard that is given to you. And this is designed to assess the English language skills at all levels in all the four modules of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And the scale is, we call it a band score, which is given from 1 to 9. And you will be awarded an overall band score and separately for all the four modules of LS or W. You can score whole or half. That is, you can score 5 or 6, 7 or 8, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, etc. But there is no decimals as 0.1, 2, 3. It's only 1 or half. The overall band score may be very much crucial if you intend to emigrate to apply for university or take up a job in an English speaking country. That is, if you want to go for a permanent residency in Canada or Australia. Look into the modules, the test patterns. Listening, you have 4 sections wherein you have 10 questions in each section. The questions are in the same order. You will be given a question paper and also an answer script. The audio is played in 4 sections, means the audio is played in 4 tracks. For each track, you have a separate question paper mentioned as a section there. You can write your answers roughly and then fare it in the actual answer sheet. It goes on about 30 minutes. And remember always the questions asked are in the order of the track which is going on. It is not jumbled. And the speaking has 3 rounds. The first one is a face-to-face round, which is similar to any typical interview for a job, where you are asked questions about yourself, your education, your family, your hobbies, etc. And the second round is very much crucial, which decides your band score in speaking. There, which is a topic is given, wherein you are asked to talk on the topic for 2 minutes, and you will be given a cue card where there are 3 or 4 points of mention which you need to cover while speaking. And you are supposed to speak not less than 1 minute and not more than 2 minutes. In fact, don't bother about the time. The examiner there will stop you when the time is over. Of course, you are given a paper and a pencil to prepare on the topic before you speak, and the time given to you for preparation is a minute and not more than that. Once that is taught, and remember, the complete speaking test module is recorded, and only the recorded audio will be evaluated and not while simultaneously while you were speaking. And the third one is the discussion round, where it mostly depends on the second topic which is given to you. And overall speaking module continues for 14 minutes. Reading contains paragraphs. It has nearly 3 to 4 passages. Each passage may have 4 to 5 paragraphs, wherein you have text taken from books, journals, or they are even extracted from magazines, newspaper, or online resources. Obviously, as I told earlier, the standard of paragraphs extracted for academic test is tougher than that of the general paragraphs. It continues for 60 minutes, wherein you have 40 questions. and of course 3 sections. And you need to have a very good time management skills to get a good band score for reading. Writing, it again completely differs from academic and general. Task 1 and task 2. Task 1, in case of academic, you are given a visual format, maybe a graph or a table or a chart or a diagram or a flow chart, which you need to transform it into the text format in about 150 words. In case of general writing, you are given a letter, maybe a formal or an informal letter, same 150 words. And the task 2 is almost similar for both academic and general test, where you are given a point of view or an argument or a problem, maybe social or political or anything in general, wherein you need to write an essay of not less than 250 words. It can be more than that, not less. If it is less than 250, you may not get the good score because it is the under length. It can vary from 250 to 270 and 280. Normally, 270, 280 words essay is considered to be the best one and the standard one. So, wherein for complete writing you have an hour time. It is normally taken into consideration or understood that 20 minutes you can allot for task 1 and 40 minutes for task 2. And that's all. And in the coming videos, we can understand more details about what are the tips to improve our skills in listening, speaking, reading, and writing separately. Happy learning. Wish you all the best in your future endeavors.